What's up, y'all? I want to welcome y'all to another installment of TPS Media. I got another special guest, man, a fellow, St. Louis native, uh, Hooper. Played at Southern Illinois at Edwardsville. Now he's at Missouri Southern school I went to for a little minute. Cam Williams, how you doing, bro?
Good. How are you? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. Just day by day, man. Tell him, how's everything going in Joplin? How you liking it so far?
Oh, it's cool. It's a different. It's a little different from what I'm used to. I've been in the St. Louis area for about basically my whole life, so it's just a little bit of a culture shock. But I like it out here. I like it out here.
That's dope, bro. So, like I mentioned, you from St. Louis. So, tell the people how it was, growing up on that side and stuff you had to go through that other people normally didn't have to go through growing up.
Um, St. Louis is a very interesting city. It's different than most cities. Basketball wise, it's very competitive. Just different, just different. Really, like a lot of athletes, a lot of talent that a lot of people don't get to see and just don't
Right.
get an opportunity that I got. So it's really different than most cities.
That's very true. A lot of them, either get in trouble or they just don't want to hoop no more, don't want to
Yeah,
play ball no
fact,
more. So,
fact.
we're gonna get into all that a little bit later on for sure, though. So,
Yeah.
tell the people, how it was growing up. How'd you end up started playing sports and eventually talk about how you ended up getting into basketball, like as in like that's the sport I really want to play.
So basically, I got into sports because my mom and dad like they played sports growing up. Uh, so I mean, sports was always in my household. I got a twin sister, so she
Hmm.
played basketball. She didn't start playing basketball. She was kind of like just just living life, just enjoying life. But then she saw me playing basketball. Then she started getting into it. So I probably started playing basketball when I was like around probably 4 or 5, when I can remember. So I've been playing for a long time. But then I started playing football. I thought football was gonna be my thing. So I
Hmm.
played receiver, and I was actually pretty good, but I just couldn't keep taking all them hits. I ain't gonna lie.
Man, that's how it be. They always say football players don't play basketball and basketball players don't play football.
Yeah,
Every
yeah,
time.
that's a fact. That's definitely a fact. So I probably decided I was gonna be like legit basketball player, like after my ninth grade year. Like
Mhm.
in high school, I was like, yeah, this football stuff ain't for me. I'm just gonna
Mhm.
like focus on hooping, and then that's kind of when my game took off.
So were you always in like the Hazelwood Central District or did you like
Mhm.
move and stuff? So talk about going to school at Central and then eventually get into, playing and, stuff like that for me.
So when I got to Central, that was the year I got there. What year did I get there? I graduated in 18, so I got there in like 14, 15, something like that.
Mhm.
So I my freshman year, I played freshman. So I didn't even play varsity. So like it was guys ahead of me like that was just better than me, more physical than me and stuff. So then my sophomore year I ended up playing, I was swinging. So I played JV and varsity. Like I was dressing varsity, but I was playing JV mostly. Like I
Yeah.
played in a few varsity games like blowouts and stuff. Then after that, my junior year, that was my first year, like starting on varsity, like playing like legit minutes. So that year was pretty well. Like that was kind of like my name started getting a little buzz or whatever. Then my senior year, I just kind of just took off. Me and Shine took off really. Shine already had a name for itself, but
Mhm.
then I kind of like took off with him.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, he talking about Sean Williams. He went on to go
Yeah.
play at K State, and then I
Mhm.
want to say he ended up playing at Cal,
Yeah, he was.
somewhere in Cali.
Yeah, Cal State, Bakersfield. Now he
Yeah, that's
at
what it was.
he at Ottawa. I don't know how to say it. It's in Arkansas somewhere.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the senior year was when y'all took off. Y'all probably that year, I want to say, was probably the most competitive ball around St. Louis as far as like basketball. Like we all had players like Tatum and stuff like that before, but as far as
Mhm.
like the whole city being competitive, Like
Yeah,
you had Jaw, Chaminade, Vashon, Webster
yeah,
Groves. Like
yeah,
there's a whole lot of schools that was going crazy
yeah.
in the loose. So before we get into like that special senior season, talk about like the competition around St. Louis and how crazy the games were. I wasn't able to go out there personally to a few, but I
Yeah.
went to one of y'all playoff games later on. I'll get into
Mm.
that. But y'all had some games packed out. Y'all had games sold out. People outside waiting. So talk about
Yeah.
the atmosphere on a. It could be any night, but definitely like a Friday or Saturday night for y'all high school games.
So like it was just like you said, it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like seeing that, like growing up, like seeing like BJ Young and Brad Beal like standing outside for those tickets, like you never imagine like, oh, this gonna be me. Like I'm about to be the ones people standing outside for. Like every night it was different. Like I remember like towards the end of our year, so we had a segment where we played Webster Groves on a Thursday night at home,
Mm-hmm.
and then or it might have been like a Tuesday night at home, and it was like sold out. And then the next night, like we had a night to prepare, and then the next day we went to Vashon to a sold out crowd. So like you can just imagine like the atmosphere, like
Crazy.
the buzz. Like I remember that Vashon game, like it's third quarter of the JV game, like you couldn't get in, like wasn't no getting in.
It's crazy.
Like
It's
it
crazy.
was insane. Like that was probably one of if not the best atmospheres I probably ever played in. It was a couple other games. Like we played St. Mary's that year, and I forgot the name of the tournament. It's a Christmas tournament though, like
Mm-hmm.
championship game sold out. Who else? We played Chicago or that year at Webster Groves in the shootout.
Yeah.
Um, we played a lot of good like Rockbridge our senior night. That was pretty. That was a good atmosphere. Like we played some teams. We played some good teams, and it was some crazy atmospheres.
Yeah, I was. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to Just Lobs too, because he was a plug for everything. I was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
he was
every
the
week.
plug.
I was
My
like,
boy
yeah. Let me go
Rio.
ahead and on me. Let me go ahead and tune into YouTube. I know they had some
Yeah,
games, so
yeah. He had
so
all the games. Like even not even our games. Like Webster Groves, Deshaun, like St. Mary's games, Chaminade games. I forgot about that
all
game.
of them.
Chaminade. That game was packed too. Like he was everywhere. Like if it was a big
He
game, you knew you wasn't there. You was gonna see it on Just Live with Rio.
on me. So like I said, we're gonna talk about your special senior year. Y'all went. Correct me if I'm wrong. 27-4 and
27-3.
three. See,
Yeah.
the internet be lying. See, that's why I be having to tell every interview. I'll be like, let me know if I got a number wrong or something. They be lying. So, like I mentioned, I went to one of y'all games. I want to say I played Popular Bluff
Mhm.
at what's that JUCO? It's a JUCO near St. Louis, but I forgot what it's called.
I know. I think it was like I don't remember exactly what it was, but
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. We
So
almost lost that game.
y'all was. I ain't gonna lie. I was in the stands. I'm like, is they trying to lose? So get into that one for me and talk about how crazy that game was, and then talk about the next game after that one for me.
So we played Papa Bluff. It's like I think we drove maybe an hour or so. It was on the bus, or whatever, and we came in like it was really a look ahead game for us. Like how coaches be like, "Oh, that's a look ahead game, or whatever." That's
Hmm.
kind of how we took it. Like it was a look ahead game. Then it was this kid. I don't remember his name. He had goggles though. Like,
Oh
bro, like
yeah,
he was going crazy.
crazy.
Like, then we looked up. We was down like 15 going into like halftime. We like, hold on, like these dudes
Hmm.
came to hoop. Like, then we just kind of started playing together, started playing our game. Then we made our run in, like the third quarter. Then the fourth quarter was just a dog fight. Like we just had more dogs than on that day. I ain't gonna lie, cause
Hmm.
I think I don't know that one. We snuck out of that one.
So
We snuck out of that one for sure. But yeah, I don't remember the kid name, but he was a dog. He was good though. I don't know where he ended up playing or whatever, but he took us there. But then the next game, so we that was like early in the week. We played that Saturday. That's when we played Chaminade.
mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, that was our last game. We lost that one, but like they had Jericho Helms, Luke Kazuki, Jadis White. Who else was on that team? Keon Batchman. That team was really good. We should have won. Don't get me wrong. We made some mistakes down there, but like it came down to the last 3 or 4 minutes. But we played good that game as well. We just didn't pull that one out.
So yeah, A lot of people don't know, bro. It's a lot of talent. Even just going to some D2s, there's a lot of talent that come out of St. Louis. Like you just mentioned, Jericho Helms. He ended up, correct me if I'm wrong, playing at NC State, I want to say.
Yep.
So you got it's a lot of players in that like that them couple years. It was you, Sean. You had EJ Liddell over in Belleville. You had Rio, Cameron Fletcher. You
Hmm.
had a lot of people, and then you got the
Oh
people before
yeah,
y'all. Yeah,
yeah,
Vashawn used to. I honestly, when I was watching them, I'm like, they look like a high school like Lob City. Like it was crazy,
yeah,
and they just hooped. Like it was him,
yeah.
Rio, and a couple other people on that team. So with that, them few years, how was it like? What was the? How did you feel about playing? Like, was there any games you? Which games did you have circled during that year?
That year, so we play Vashon every year because our coach is like my coach and his coach. They like best friends basically. So like we
Mhm.
scheduled that game every year. So I knew he was gonna play Vashon. Like I probably had that one circled for sure. Webster girls, I knew I had circled. Trying to think. Like honestly, anybody that my mindset that year. So coming into that year, I didn't have any offers. It's
Yeah.
like I didn't even know where I was going. Like the only thing I had was like few JUCOs looking at me, couple D2s and stuff. But like anytime it was somebody that they like even said may have been better than me, I had to circle that game because it's like
Hmm.
it was I kind of just took it personal. Like it was like do or die. Honestly, that's how I looked at it. Like
Right.
it's either I'm about to go to a JUCO and hope and pray that make it out of the JUCO, or I can just do it now and possibly make it to a D1 or get to a good D2 and just go from there. So, like, I know for a fact, like, Rashawn was a game I circled, probably Webster Groves. That Christmas tournament was big for me. I'm trying to think. Chicago or probably. Um, that's probably Rockbridge. Rockbridge was a big game for me. Um, Those probably the ones I can remember off the top of my head that I probably was like, yeah, I gotta do something this one.
You gotta lock in. So
Yeah,
yeah, because I remember when I was doing some research and figuring out my questions, there was a couple videos where it was like he's unranked. They were talking about you, but
yeah,
they're like he's unranked, but he'll take like your scholarship or something. And I was
yeah.
watching, I'm like, oh yeah, he was a dog. So
That was the video that got me like everything, like, cause that was
mm,
Ball's Life. Ball's Life posted
yeah,
that, and like I remember, like I'd never forget, like the day they posted that, and like I got tagged on Instagram. So like my high school, like we didn't have no good service, so like I didn't even know what was going on. So I get out of high school, like my phone started just buzzing, 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 buzzing. I'm getting on Instagram. I got like 400 people trying to follow me and stuff. I'm like, whoa, what's
jeez,
going on? Then I get to, I'm like, oh, they Ballers Life just posted me. I was like, oh, this crazy. Like,
I know
that
you was
just,
lit.
yeah, that changed everything for me for real. Like everybody's like, oh, you this, you that. I'm like, I don't even know what's really going on.
On me. So getting like you mentioned, you didn't have any offers starting your senior year. So I'm assuming you got some looks and stuff throughout it. And then you guys, like you said, you lost to Chaminade in the playoffs and stuff. So get into recruiting after the season for me and talk about like a visits or if you had like a crazy visit story.
So honestly, I didn't take that many visits.
Mhm.
So like, for example, like I took a visit to like four JUCOs. I went to I'm trying to think. I went to Lindenwood for a visit. I never took a visit to SIUE. That's the crazy part. I never took a visit there.
Wow. That happens a lot more than people think
Yeah,
though.
yeah. So, but the thing is, my sister had already committed there, so I went on a visit with her.
Oh.
So it
But it
was
was it
like,
was like her visit, but you was just there. So it was no point
yeah,
of you taking another
yeah,
one. Yeah.
right. So I wanted another one. I ain't gonna lie, I wanted my official visit, but I was like, you know what, it don't even matter. Um, but like I said, I took a lot of JUCO visits. Like the craziest one is probably Mobley, Mobley area.
Hmm.
Like they had, Alonzo Verge.
Mm-mm.
He's from Chicago. Like he was cold. Like he was probably I think he was like a JUCO All American. Like he was cold. Like that's probably the craziest visit. Like we went to Waffle House. That night was crazy. I ain't even. It's not even PG, so I'm just gonna let that one
Oh,
slide.
we
That,
that's how it be though. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like
yeah,
every athlete on at least one visit got a story
yeah,
where it's like, because I definitely do. I went to Minnesota State and I was like, I want to come here just based off this visit. But
yeah.
so
I was
you
like,
in?
yeah, this dude insane. But I mean, yeah, I ain't really take that many visits, but like, that's crazy. People don't know. Like, I didn't take a visit to SIU. Like, I seen the school just because my sister had committed there, and she took a couple visits there, but I never like actually had my own visit there.
That's crazy, bro. So what made you? Was it? I'm assuming a factor had to be your sister, obviously, but
Yeah,
a little like a small. Not saying that's the
yeah.
whole reason you went, but I'm pretty sure that like factored into it. So get into the like full reason and why you ended up picking SIUE
So the real story is, so I was originally committed to Drake.
in Iowa.
Yeah.
Oh, I
So
didn't. Dang.
the coach just got this like the job, like maybe. So I was riding after school bus one day, and I'm just on my phone, chilling, ready to go home. Like it's been a long day, and I get this phone call. I'm like, I ain't never seen this now. I'm like, oh, it might be a cuss. Let me answer it. I answer. They like, this so and so from Drake University. I don't remember his name. And I'm like, oh, what's up, coach? Like, I tightened up real fast. I'm like, oh, what's up?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, he was just talking to me this, that, and the other. He was like, yeah, we want to offer you a scholarship. I was like, whoa, like what? So I'm
Right.
like, all right, cool. So I called my peoples or whatever, and then like maybe 2 weeks. So the thing was, they was just waiting on my ACT score to come back.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like right there on the edge where like I needed like a certain score to get in, but like they could still possibly work me in if I didn't get the score. So it was like a boom bow thing. So like it was between SIUE had already no, they didn't offer me. Right after that, maybe the next day SIUE offered me. So I was like really torn between those two schools. So I had so at that time I was about to take a couple more visits to D2, but I was like I told my parents, I'm like, I don't want to go D2. Like
It
I'm
ain't no
trying to
point if I
go
got two D1 offers on
yeah,
me.
yeah, I don't want to go D1. So I canceled all my visits to all my D2s, and then um I I was about to take a visit to Iowa or Drake, and I was like, yeah. I was like, before I even went, I was like, I want to come, like, cause it was a new program, like it was a new coach, like it was, I forget what league they play in. I think it's Missouri Valley, like that's a
Missouri
good
Valley,
league.
yeah.
So like I was like, I want to go to Drake. So I told him I was committed, and then he said, cool. And then the next day he called me back and was like, yeah, our people wouldn't let me get you in or whatever. So I was like, well, look, I'm going to SIU. So a
It
couple
all
more
worked
days
out.
later, I waited, and I just called and was like, "Yeah, I'm coming." Then they got me in.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah.
So when did it hit you? It could be from summer workouts. It could be first official practice. When did it
Mm.
hit you that you're a Division 1 basketball player?
That's another crazy story. So, so I got to school. So we had obviously like they bring the freshmen in early. They bring everybody in early. We get there like I think so. I graduated like May 28th, and I had to be there like in like 3 days. So like
Jeez.
it went from graduation right to workout. So I'm there for maybe 2 weeks. So some compliance stuff happened. Like it's a long story.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's some stuff.
That's
Yeah.
how it be.
So
NCAA's got
basically,
too many rules.
yeah, it was too many rules. So basically, I didn't get cleared though. So I wasn't cleared to play D1 basketball. I had to pass two classes.
Mhm.
So I got there at SIUE for 2 weeks, and then a NCAA called said like he's not cleared. Like he got to pass these two classes in high school. So summer school started in 2 days. So I had to register for summer school. So I graduated high school, came back to high school. I had to take two classes.
They
Yes,
be on that,
I
bro.
can't
That's
make this
crazy.
up. I took two classes. It's like a history class and an English class. I had to basically just get like a B in both of them or something like that. Took two classes, passed two classes, and then went back to the SIU in August.
Mhm.
So my whole freshman year, I didn't even have like nothing with the team. Like I wasn't doing anything. Like I was working out at home by myself. So it was just working out. Like
Well,
I
I
ain't
ain't
even,
got. I
yeah.
was gonna ask you about if you had a freshman year story, but I guess that sums it up right there. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
And
that was
I
crazy.
had I I had the little compliance thing when I transferred from JUCO. It's a whole
Yeah,
lot of rules
it's
you got to
so
go
many
through, bro.
rules and regulations. It's like people don't even know about. Like they just think, oh, you committed. Nah, that don't. It ain't over.
Mm, you got to go through a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
So, besides the compliance issue you was just talking about, tell me about the hardest like trials and tribulations you had to go through while you was at SIUE.
So when I got there, like in August, my dad passed away in September. So that was probably the hardest thing I had to go through. Just trying to figure out like how to just balance life. Really, that was probably the
Mhm.
hardest thing. Like, because obviously life's not never gonna stop.
Yeah,
So
of course.
like I had to figure out what I was going like how I was going to balance basketball, school, and my personal life because like so much going on at one time. So that was probably my biggest challenge my freshman year, just figuring that out. And probably the easiest thing that worked out with me is probably just locking myself in the gym. Like basketball, I think basketball probably saved me because I didn't know where I was going to do, what I was going to do. I was just out of it.
Mhm.
Like, but basketball probably. That's why I feel like basketball really saved my life. I tell people that like I think basketball saved my life because I honestly didn't know what I was going to do.
That's crazy. Sorry for your loss too, bro.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. But that's how it always works.
Yeah.
When something going on, that ball. I seen Patrick Beverly say something about this. He was like, if life going crazy, I grab my ball. If
Yeah.
some if I ain't got no money, I grab my ball. I'm like, that's facts. Every time
Yeah.
something going on, whatever sport you playing, it's always gonna be
Yeah.
there.
It always. It's weird how that works. Like it just get your mind into a different space.
So let's get into your time at SIUE after your freshman.
Hmm.
I'll call it a red shirt season. I don't know what you would call it as far as
Yeah.
sitting that first season. So talk about
No,
your
I
time.
didn't. I didn't sit the first season. I played my first season.
Oh, it was just the first.
Yeah.
It was just
So
the first half. Oh, my bad then. My fault.
So basically, like I just couldn't. I couldn't go to. I couldn't. I got into the school, so I got into SIUE. Like I
Mm,
passed all the requirements for SIUE. It was the NCAA part I didn't pass.
yeah.
So I had to take the two classes so I can play right away at SIUE.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Then that's my fault.
yeah.
So get into your freshman season then, and talk about how that went for you.
So my freshman year was probably my best year, if I, in my opinion. Um, like I just I don't know. Like I was just hooping. like
That's how it
I,
be.
like I probably I probably came in second like in freshman year voting. I had this dude that went to Belmont. He was like 7 foot. He was cold. I ain't gonna lie. But like my freshman year was really good. I averaged like 10 points, like 4 or 5 rebounds, if I'm not mistaken. Like a couple assists.
Mhm.
Um, like so really good year. Then sophomore year, kind of had a little bit of a drop. Um, just just wasn't focused, honestly, in my opinion. Then my third year, I think that was COVID year. Yeah, that was COVID year. Third year was
Mhm.
my COVID year, so I was having probably a better season than my freshman year. I was having like a really really good season, and tore my ACL. So yeah, so I had to sit out for 9 months. Then I came back. Um, I came back like midway during the year of my last or my fourth year. So then I didn't really have that good of a year because I was trying to fight an injury, coming back, trying to get in shape, trying to get back my groove, and trying to play at a high level. So my that year wasn't really that good for me. Then the following year was supposed to be my last year. Right before the season, I got concussion. So
Ooh.
yeah, and I didn't get cleared until like right before conference time. So me and my coach just came to a mutual agreement that I'll just practice and be on the scout team, just help the team that way. And I did that. And then just decided to transfer. Now I'm here.
Feel you on that one. So talk about you said you mentioned you tore your ACL. Tell me about the hardest part of like rehab and stuff because I didn't tear my ACL, but I tore my
Mm.
Achilles, so I know how the rehab part,
Yeah.
and that shit is hard, bro. Like I be telling people, I'm like, it hurt. The rehab hurts worse than the injury itself,
Yeah.
like when it actually
Yeah.
happens. So talk about the rehab part and the hardest part you had to go through with that process.
Um, I'll probably say so. My rehab was really like aggressive because
Hmm.
it was like I was trying to get back in 9 months. That was my goal for myself, which I achieved my goal. Some days I wish I would have just took the whole 12 and just relaxed and just really made sure it was good.
Hmm.
But like I don't have no problems with it or anything like that. It was just I was trying to get back so bad. So I feel like the hardest part is just like you can't do what you love because you love playing basketball. Like I love playing basketball. So like just knowing like you want to be out there and you can't. That's probably the hardest part. So I probably say like the mental part. It's
Yep.
just like that's the hardest thing because like you want to go. Your knee feel good, but you know like at the same time, nah, you're not ready. Like
Because you plant the wrong way, you gonna be set
yeah,
back another 2 or 3 weeks. So
yeah, I'm good. Like so, that was probably the hardest part. Just the mental part, just staying mentally sane and being disciplined, and just trusting the process and just trusting the professionals. So that's probably the hardest part about the rehab. Cause
got
like
you.
all the exercises and stuff you can do, like that stuff obviously it's gonna be hard because you're trying to gain that muscle back. But
Hmm.
like that stuff you know you can do is just the mental part, knowing like oh you want to be out there so bad, but you know you can't.
So remember, you talked about you transferred or whatever. How did Missouri Southern come about? And talk to me about that story for me.
So it's crazy. So I hit the portal, and you know, like obviously people post on Twitter, oh da da da, it's in the portal. So obviously I got one of those posts, and Coach Paul here at not SIU, I'm sorry, MSFU, he
Hmm.
hit me up on Twitter and it's like, oh, I'm Coach Paul at Missouri Southern, and I'm like, we're interested in you. Then he was telling me about the program and what they had coming back and stuff. And then I'm like, oh, so I gave him a call or whatever. Well, he called me and then we got to talking or whatever. And then he was just my brother coached at SEMO. And I'm like, wait, I know your brother.
Oh yeah,
Because I used
when
to like,
I was reading the new coaches. Or, yeah, I read like the article with all the recruits or whatever, and
uh,
the head coach at Moso now was like, yeah, I seen
yeah,
him play in
yeah,
the Ohio Valley
OVC,
Conference. Yep.
yeah. So I was like, wait, I know him. Like then he was like, oh yeah, we're brothers and this, that, and the other. So then I was like, oh yeah, cool. So then kind of find out, I didn't even recognize. So it's I'm not sure if you know Dylan Owens. He put on the team. So he goes here and he went to
Mhm.
Hazelwood Central. So
Oh,
I'm like, oh yeah, I know. Like I know Dylan. Like then he was telling me about the school and stuff. So then I took a visit and like I just loved it. Like I loved it. Like I knew like after I left my visit, I was like, yeah, I'm probably going there. Like I
there's
want to
always
go.
it's always one visit where you like,
Yeah,
yeah, this school lit.
yeah.
So like you mentioned, like how are you getting along with the team? I know a couple of them. I'm cool with Winston,
Mm.
and I know a couple of the other ones, but I wasn't really that cool with him. But I'm Winston is probably the one I know the most on the team. So how are y'all like gelling and on and off the floor? Because they're pretty chill dudes off the court too.
Yeah, they funny. Like it's a funny thing. Like Winston cool. Like I love all of them. I ain't gonna lie. Like they
Mhm.
are unique in their own way. Like on the court, like you watch us this year, you'll see a exciting, up pace, fast style of basketball. Like we like sharing the ball. Like one more passes. Like we all can shoot. Like it's impressive, honestly. Like when I got here, like my first week here, I'm like we was having open gyms. I'm like, bro, like do y'all miss? like, like, do y'all miss? Like that's like the most exciting part of me because if you watch my style of play, I like getting to the basket, getting the ball, kicking the ball out. So that's them. The way they shoot is helps me, and then the way they shoot, it helps me. Like, and it helps. I help them by giving them the ball. to get open spots because I'm driving the lane. So, like I'm
Yeah,
saying, it's gonna be really exciting and like very versatile. Got multiple different lineups. Like I think this might be the year. Like yeah, this might be the year.
gotcha. So tell me, give me a couple of your personal and team goals for this upcoming season.
Um, Personal goals, I'll probably say just I want to be first team all MIAA.
Hmm.
That's really my main goal. My main goal is really I want to win a national championship.
Yeah,
Like I think we got the talent to do it, honestly.
yeah.
Um, and obviously win a conference, win a regular season and tournament champions. I just feel like we got a really good team. Like our team is really, really good. Um, but like I said, probably my personal goal is just win MIAA and hopefully defensive player of the year. Like that's probably the two goals I have for myself and just win a championship. That's my biggest goal is just to win a championship. Because I never
Gotcha.
won a ring, never in
For real?
high school or college. So that's one thing I never checked off my box of stuff. So
It's gonna be exciting if y'all able to get that done, bro.
yeah.
Um, so we getting towards the back end. I got a couple quicker questions for you.
Hmm.
Um, if you could give an example of who you play like, it could be a college player now, it could be an NBA player. Who would you say you play like the most?
Ooh, that's a good question. Who do I play like the most? I'm trying to think. I'll probably say a less athletic Jalen Brown. Like I
Okay.
can score at all three levels, but like obviously I'm not. Don't get me wrong, I'm not Jalen Brown. But like that's probably the best comparison. I feel like I can score at all three levels. I can guard multiple different positions. I'm athletic, very good in transition. Like that's probably the best comparison for me.
All right. Say, let me think. Who would you watch? Who do you watch film on the most? Would it be him too?
Probably so. Him and like uh, I watched a little bit of Victor Oladipo. Him too.
Ooh, that's a different one. I ain't heard that one. I
Yeah.
normally hear like the superstars. I'm like, y'all know
Yeah.
y'all don't play like them, but Victor ain't that bad. I
Yeah,
can go
Victor
with that one.
Oladipo. Like his college highlights and stuff like that. Like you go watch, I'll probably get a little bit of him too. Like him and
Mm,
Jalen Brown a little bit. Like obviously, I'm neither one of them. Like they're a different level, but I'm probably like a baby version of them.
I'm weak. That's a good comparison. I ain't gonna lie. So would you say Jalen Brown's your favorite player? Or you got a different player that you like the most?
My favorite player like all time or
Yeah,
just all time is Kobe. Like
Kobe. Mhm.
yeah, like Kobe is different. His
He is
mind,
a
like
he
I
is a
was
dog.
actually just reading the book. Like I was just reading this book. Like his mentality and like the stuff he do and like the way he prepare for like games and different scouting reports and how much like I can go about this all. I'm just gonna stop where
I'm weak. That's how
because
it
I
is though.
can
Like
like
a lot of athletes don't realize how important watching and dissecting film
oh
is.
yeah
It's so important, bro. You got to see what even like I coach football a little bit. Even in football, you got to see
mhm,
like for receivers lined up this way, it could be a run. If he's lined up this
right
way, it's a pass. Like
yeah
it's the same with basketball. If he got the ball in his left hand on the elbow, he finna do a turn fadeaway. It could be something
yeah
simple as that.
yeah like
So
I was just reading a page maybe 2 days ago. He said he was guarding Allen Iverson, he said he would count his head like 1,001, 1,002, and then like on the third 1,000, he knew to jump into his space because he knew he was about to attack. Like it's
mhm,
like stuff like that. I'm
that's
like
crazy.
he was really in tune to like his opponents and like scout reports and all that type of stuff.
That's ridiculous. So I got some. I got a question off the court.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go back to the Lou and go back to St. Louis, what's the
Mm-hmm.
first food spot you get that ain't like some cooked at home? So give me like whatever spot it is, and your full order.
I already know where I'm going. I'm going to Miami Grill. Miami
Man,
Grill. I need a 6 piece Miami style with extra lemon pepper
hmm
on the fries and the chicken. I need it.
Got to. That's be busting too. You gonna wait a good 15, maybe 30 minutes, but it's gonna be fine
No,
whenever
for
it come
sure.
out.
For sure. You gotta call it
Uh,
in. If you don't call it in,
on
you're gonna be
me,
there for a minute.
yeah, and that ain't smart in
No.
St. Louis. So, like I said, we get into the back end of it. Give me somebody you would recommend to come on the show, and if you can get me in contact with them.
I'm trying to think. Recommend. I'd probably say Sean. Sean Williams. That'd be a
That'll
good.
work.
He'd definitely be good. Just seeing his his path, because I know a little bit of the story, but like the world need to hear it, because
Yeah,
I can see me and him really taking off this year. Like definitely this past few summers and stuff. Like I know how hard he really been working. Like people need to hear his story.
gotcha. I'll definitely tap in with you on that one. Uh, like I said, I know y'all playing Springfield
Mm.
twice, and that's
Yep.
where I stay. So I already told Wentz I need them tickets, bro. I already told him. So
I got you.
I'm up there. I think y'all play.
We
I
play
want to say one of
UIS
them.
and Jury.
Yep. So if not both, definitely one of them I'm there. So
Yeah, for sure. I
we'll
got. If
we'll
Wentz
figure that
cap,
out.
just you know what I'm saying, just hit my phone. I got you.
But he already told me he got me. But either way, hey, it'll work either way. So
Yep,
and I appreciate you coming on, man. This was dope to
for
hear.
sure.
I think you probably my first athlete from St. Louis. I had my cousin on here that coach in St. Louis, but you my first athlete from the Lou on here, so that's dope, bro.
Yeah.
Nothing else, man. Appreciate you. Good luck.
So appreciate it.
You going definitely gonna get boring after a couple months, so I hope you're
All
ready.
right. Hey, I've been out here for 3 months. I'm about bored as hell.
It ain't nothing to do out there, bro. It's so boring. I got out when I went on my visit. I'm like, okay, it's a little chill college town, and then we got there. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But I got there the year after COVID, so they didn't have
Oh yeah.
everything. Everything was still kind of shut down, so I kind of understood it. But hopefully, it's gotten better since then because
Yeah, it's a
it was
little
boring.
better. Well, I don't know if it's better or not, but hey,
Once
it
back,
can't
but
be.
they show up for the basketball games though. Basketball
Yeah,
games
that's
be
what I
lit.
heard. Yeah,
Yeah, basketball games be lit. So y'all should be straight, bro.
yeah. Winning
Anyway,
always bring out people anyways. So
exactly. Just get them dubs and they gonna show up, bro.
that,
So yeah,
but
that's it, man. I appreciate you.
no problem.
Appreciate
Thank you,
y'all for
bro.
yes, sir,
Appreciate
for
you.
sure. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. I'm gonna have all his social medias just like every other video at the end of the video. And that's it. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to TPS Media, man.
All right.